Om Tava Kathamritam Tapta Jivanam Kabibhiriritam Kalmashapaham Shravanamangalam Sri Madatatam Bhuvi Grinanti Ye Buridayanaha Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. O Lord, your gospel is like nectar and bliss, showered upon the pain-stricken lives of suffering humanity. It dispels all the sins and misdeeds of life. It brings spiritual welfare in life. The spiritual beauty, prosperity, and grace spreads through and through one who listens to your holy message. In the world, they are the real givers who preach and pronounce the nectar of your message to the suffering humanity. Om, peace, peace, peace be unto us all. So we are reading Sri Ramakrishna Gospel, and as we are on page 793, we are continuing. So Ramakrishna was continuously speaking with the devotees like Trailokya, captain, and that discussion is now conversing with captain. And last time he talked about, Ramakrishna said, the world is like an overcast sky that steadily pours down rain. The face of the sun is seldom seen. There is mostly suffering in the world on account of the cloud of lust and greed. One cannot see the sun. Some people ask me, sir, why has God created such a world? Is there no way out for us? I say to him, why should not there be a way out? Take shelter with God and pray to Him with yearning heart for a favorable wind, that you may have things in your favor. If you call on Him with yearning, He will surely listen to you. So there is a hope. Last time we read this part, as if this world is like an overcast sky and the face of the sun is not seen. That means God is here within and God is everywhere. But this is because of the cloud of ignorance, we don't see that light. And that's why we are suffering. There is suffering in the world because of that cloud. This world is full of joy to a wise person, a person of knowledge and wisdom. Entire world is joy. In suffering, it is no suffering, it is just fun for a person of experience. But for the ignorant people like us, who are mind is clouded, so we don't see the truth. And Sri Ramakrishna pinpoints here, what is that cloud? He said that it is the lust which we carry, and the greed or money, gold, lust and gold. That is, he coined the whole universe and this way the world is moving. Really, if we analyze every place where there is conflict, where there is fight, where there is all centered around either money or the lustful things one wants to fulfill. Yeah? Just look at the whole world, power, position, all for more of greed, more of possessing and holding. And if this cloud vanishes, that is the monks and the devotees who love God, their cloud vanishes gradually. As a result, they become free soul. They live in the world and they do their duties and responsibilities, but they are totally free from this cloud. As a result, they actually live. They are called the Jivan Muktas. The people who are living in the world with full awareness, with full consciousness. And the way out, then the devotees, for us, what will happen, how the cloud will go, when the ignorance will go. It is not, we are making a conclusion, this world is of suffering, and it is full of ignorance, but what is the way out? For us, general people, what we should do? Sri Ramakrishna's simple formula. This is very important to see how the solution is so simple, but it is so not traveled through this path by us. Though it is so simple, but it is not. What he says? Take shelter. Take shelter with God and pray to Him with a yearning heart for favorable wind, that you may have things in your favor. Here favor means, in our favor means in our awareness about God's presence in everywhere, no? In good and in bad. First we should have to practice to see in the good, and then eye will be open. There is in the bad, what is apparent bad, they find the presence in Lord's hand is there. The benign hand of God is there. And he says that if you can call on Him with yearning, this sincere prayer, take shelter with God, pray to Him with a yearning heart, and then if you call on Him, He will surely listen to you. That's an assurance. If we can do that, then certainly our problems will be solved. A man had a son who was on the point of death. In a frenzy, he asked remedies of different people. One of them said, "Here is a remedy." And he gave a long list. What are the remedy? He said that first it must rain when there is a star, Swati, is in the ascendant. That's very rare on the particular position of the stars and what you call the planets, it will happen. Then some of the rain must fall into a skull. And then a frog must appear and come and to drink that water. And the snake must chase. Your frog will try to drink the water, and then snake will chase to eat that, catch that frog, Baba condition. And you should give and when the snake is about to bite, the frog must hop away and poison must fall into the skull. What a complicated condition. And then that poison, that is you should give the patient a little of that poison. And rainwater from the skull. There is a rainwater, and that special rainwater on this planetary system, some special occasion, raindrop will fall. There is a skull, where to collect a skull, and then raindrop falling, and then a frog should jump there, and then frog, seeing the frog, a snake should chase, and it just to grab it, and the frog runs away, and the venom or poison falls into the skull with the water of the pure water. These combination, now take this and give to the patient, and patient will be cured. What type of solution? And then the father set out eagerly to find the medicine. When the star Swati was in the sky, it started raining. Fervently he said to God, "Oh Lord, please get a skull for me." Searching here and there, he at last found a skull with rainwater in it. Again he prayed to God, saying, "O Lord, I beseech thee, please help me find the frog and the snake." And since he had great longing, he got the frog and also the snake. In the twinkling of an eye, he saw a snake chasing a frog. And as it was about to bite the frog, its poison fell into the skull. He's given a story, but it's an impossible thing possible. What is the significance of this story is that so many impossibilities are there. In our life there are so many obstacles are there. Sometimes it seems it is impossible to make any spiritual growth or to find peace in this troubled world. But one sincere prayer, what Sri Ramakrishna is teaching, very simple, whole Christianity stands on that. Prayer, prayer, prayer. Dualistic practices, most of the thing is emphasized as prayer has great value. That's why anyone is sick and anyone the information comes, please pray for me, please pray for me. What is that word? It is a simple words of the mouth? No, it has this deep significance. It purifies both ways. When I pray, what happens? My mind goes to God. No, I surrender there. So my mind goes, purifies, and also if you say there is a God. God is a personal God here. Impersonal God, don't bring it. Vedanta God is not. Vedanta is no God there. Vedanta has no God, no avatar. Ramakrishna said to Naren that this is not according to your Vedanta. But Vedanta is absolute. There is only one truth, that is Satchidananda. No God, as in our morning chant when we sing Song of the Sannyasis. Neither God nor demon or nothing. Man, God, heaven, nothing is there. It is only absolute truth. So there is no perceiver, perceived, there is no one ignorant person trying to realize God, nothing like that. God is saguna. When God takes a concrete shape of compassion, holiness, purity, then we call a personalized God, even impersonal God. Impersonal God is that God has no form, no shape, but God has compassion. God can redeem us. So that is the prayer. It's called the monotheistic idea of God. So the monotheistic God, there is some presence, and you listen, he responds. He listens to that. So that faith should be there, that I am praying not to just a vacant some place where there is no presence of anything divine or any reality behind it. So here that idea is given, that if it is prayed with all sincerity, how will you come? That's true. Unless you believe that there is God, why sincerity will come? You will come to the temple. If we have faith that Sri Ramakrishna is really sitting here, many people have experienced that, no? And they have seen, and with that faith, if one comes and prays to him, I used to see that Swami Shahananda Maharaj, wherever he goes, he will just come and salute here. And then whenever goes out, salute, and then comes back, salute. What is the meaning? Ramakrishna's picture in his room. But here is a temple, the Lord is being served here. He goes to bed, he comes up, we think that he is like a part of the society, no? And it is his center. So he comes, Lord, I am going to your work, such and such place, no? After coming back, giving a report, I went, as if God does not know. No? Apparently it appears that God does not know. Why are you going to... It is logically, many people will say, what type of thing is this? That you come back and then say and report, I have done this, you know. He does not know what you are doing there. God is not there. Don't bring Vedanta there. It's a very great aspect of devotion. I have seen Swami Gahanananda Maharaj. He became the General Secretary and afterwards the President. So once we had the opportunity, now I came for some work from the center where I was the head of the center, Sikra, Raja Maharaj's birthplace. And for some work, for his guidance, I came. But he is so busy, so he said, come with me. And then I went with him. I was just entering to Belur Math, and I went into his car. And then he went to Calcutta with all lawyers' office and then hospital activity and all this being finished. When you are returning into this ashram, that was Belur Math, it was maybe 10:30, almost 10:30, 11 o'clock in the night. Everyone is fast asleep. It was surprising. The car, the driver, he instructed the driver, drop me here. So he dropped near his office, where he lives also. That's a mission office, we call it, headquarters office. And just coming out, he does not look any right and left. He started walking toward the Mother's temple. So I followed him, Mother's temple. And I see that he going over there, lay flat, and the temple is closed. Door are shut. No one around. Entire Belur Math is calm and serene. All have gone to rest or do whatever there. But he goes, few minutes, he prostrated and then talked so much with folded palm and all these things. And then he came back to his room. What is the thing? Every day, every time he does, it is faith that he is Holy Mother. Holy Mother is the mother of the universe. It is this Belur Math is mother's jurisdiction. Mother runs the show. So he has gone, he had done with the lawyer what has happened there, as if he's thinking a person is reporting. Ma, I came, I went to your work and this is this, it has happened like that. So I offer everything to you. This is the point. This is the significance of prayer. And what happens to this prayer? When I did for you, I went for your work. And whatever I did you have given me the understanding, I tried that. And this is the report of it, and I put everything up at your feet. Then I can sleep well. My tension will not be there. My anxieties will not be there. It is your job. You want me to do, it will happen. If you don't want, it will not happen, because you are the mother of the universe. And it is your work. It is not my work. So, and these are to be seen in their very personal life. Normally people will overlook. It is like a ritual. He is going to that time. Why you will go at 11 o'clock in the night? What do we do? When we are late night, we come back, what do we do? We immediately wash ourselves and have something to eat or do whatever we do. But that was not the priority. Priority is that first to report there. And the car is gone. He walks all the way to Mother's temple, and then after that saluting and spending time, then comes back and then goes to, I am following him. And then after some time when he washes himself and then started talking about come and so this is the point. The work can be there, but tension will go away, and this prayer will make whatever is done, if there is sincere prayer and not my doing. I want this is not my want, but what you want. I wanted, this is my feeling that this will be good, I did it. But I tell you now, this is the report, and that has happened, and whatever is your will, it will happen. So it is Karma Yoga ideal, is perfectly maintained. Prayer helps that.
But when you are talking about prayer, is that true that your prayer to Mother is more effective than my prayer to Mother?
I am not to judge that. I am not to judge that. I only pray. Mother will decide whose prayer is more or strong. If I am sincere and I don't want anything for my any personal wish, good comes good, bad comes bad.
Because when we go to the priest or temple or sadhu, we expect that if you pray for me, then mother will listen.
That's it.
So then we request that, please pray for me.
Acha, acha, acha.
So why do we do that?
Yeah. Now that,
Then pray and then it can work.
yeah, but that is out of respect, because we feel that those who are day and night thinking of God, their mind is much pure. My prayer may be not very clear as the rain, the cloud is thicker, so their mind is less thick cloud. So if they pray, probably God will listen to it. That is that, but God will listen to the sincerity of the person. But they believe something. We believe in their holy people, and holy people, because they are holy, their holiness will have some impact in their mind also. So I think that mother, what he will, I cannot speak for mother or God, what he will do. But yes, it is a faith, it is a trust, it is a belief. No? So you trust somebody more than others. I have no confidence on me, I have trust in you.
But Swamiji said that have confidence in you first and then others.
Swamiji says, Swamiji, if you have, then you don't go for asking others. But I am not that strong to think. I have faith that you are a holy man, you are a good person, you can plead for me. God we create according to our concept in this world, how we behave in this world. We have more trust on somebody. Suppose some person amongst us has a very good logical understanding rather than me. So when I am perturbed, I go for counseling. Why? His understanding is better. So similarly, we feel that this is a holy man, this person is good, you pray for me, means your prayer will be more heard by God. It's my faith. But what will happen? If you are sincere, it will happen. That is the major point. Faith in yourself, how it will come? Yeah, you have to be pure. Faith in yourself is also, purity is the question. I think I am a body, I cannot have fearlessness. If I am thinking I am the mind and emotions, I cannot have fearlessness. But if I think I am that, then you will have fearlessness. Or I belong to God, then I am His child. I may be weak, but my mom is so strong. Behind me is God. So, Swami Vivekananda's idea. So if they are developed that way, that is a different thing. Anyhow, so the main implication of this story is that prayer has got tremendous value, and if the prayer is sincere, Sri Ramakrishna says it will happen. It is like why the children is asking for something from mother, and when the babies are that, moms always does not approve of what the children are asking. But when the child is so much into it and crying and round and sincerely, then mother says, okay, get it, Baba. Even she does not want, but he gives. That's the point. When sincere prayer comes, what is not to be given, even God gives. So this is the way he is saying, if it is sincere. But mother also understands when the children cry fake cries, no? It is just making a show of cry, but actually not. Then mother also deceives. So that's the same thing. God is my mother. God is my own. So you can demand on. So this idea. If one takes shelter with God and prays to Him with great longing, God will surely listen. He will certainly make everything favorable. That's another point. All things will be favorable. This is a story of making everything favorable. Odd situation will turn suddenly. Some help will come from unexpected corner. Suddenly, as if the cloud vanished. In our life we find so many times that we are thinking, what will happen, and suddenly one person comes into the picture, suddenly the mind of the other person changes. It is. If you observe in your own life, it has happened, it is happening, it will happen. That means its sincerity is the question. The captain says, what an apt illustration. When Master continues, yes, God makes everything favorable. Perhaps the aspirant does not marry. Thus he is able to devote his whole attention to God. Or perhaps his brother earns the family's livelihood. Or perhaps a son takes on the responsibility of the family. Then the aspirant will not have to bother about the world. He can give 100% of his mind to God. Here, Sri Ramakrishna does not understand much of the other things. If we are sincere, means we are sincerely asking for God's grace to dawn in our life. If we are sincere, God will remove the obstacles and will make a way which is impossible to reach that same goal. But prayer can make favorable every situation towards taking me towards God. So first he says that, suppose a boy was in, why this question is to don't get married. Ramakrishna's consideration is not married or non-married, but not married means his focus, you look at that. Sri Ramakrishna said, because in early days in India, even our age, mom and dad always thinking when this boy will be married. And perhaps if he finished school or college or something like that, no. They will start searching for one girl. That's the thing, that's their responsibility, to have a child and grandson and a nice boy, a nice girl to find out. And he's struggling to get out. No, I don't want. I want to not get involved into that life. I want to meditate, I want to pray, but if it is that, what happens in early days, whenever you get, not today's context, everyone is mature, they're getting in an age when they're married, each is mostly educated, they're earning their money. But when in those days, Ramakrishna's disciples, even you see, they're schoolboys, and their parents are searching for a girl. And the girl is married first, and then when you are married, what will happen? Your responsibility. You have to earn money, you have to go for a job, and that's what is the qualification? He has not even passed the school examination, maybe going into the college. What to procure a job? He will have to run for a clerkship to get some earning, and responsibility comes after, and then some children is born for them to take care. So one after another, and the mind is involved into filling up these responsibilities. Ramakrishna's pointed idea is that your mind should be given to God. So it becomes an obstacle. But if you really pray to God, then God can make some impossible situation. Married, every situation is finalized. And Brahmananda Swami was locked in a door because he was going in his room in Sikra. That room is now in our mission, under the mission. Their ancestral home is all under the mission now. We have purchased. His father, because he is going too much to Ramakrishna. And that's why he married. He married him to that boy. And naturally, but when he get a chance, he ran away. And his father could not manage to. But ultimately they understood it and left Rakhal to be with Ramakrishna, no?
But his wife suffered alone.
That's a different thing. We are not. That's why marriage is, had you not married, you would not have given the trouble to the girl. That's also the point. But God provides those opportunities if one is sincere. So God makes everything favorable. Perhaps the aspirant does not marry. That may be one point, that is free from others. He does not enter into that entanglement or responsibilities. Second, he is able to devote his whole attention to God. Or perhaps his brother. Maybe we are in joint family. In India, that always there in the early days when we are young, we are all joint family means your uncle, your father, your uncle, your all family. There may be in a family 20 people, and they don't consider who is earning what. One brother earning less, another brother, but they all deposit to mother. And mother maintains the whole family expenses. So one is less earning, one is more earning. Mother, God with the sincere prayer, it may favor it. Okay, another brother is sharing more for the family's expenses. So that giving him a little more time for God, thinking about God. Or perhaps a son, one son grows up and he takes the responsibility of the whole family, of the family. Then the aspirant will not have to bother about the world, that means the responsibilities of this world, and not to idle their time. But responsibility not. But what they will do? He can give 100% of his mind to God. Here is the question. Ramakrishna's words have to be very critically observed. 100% of the mind should go to God if sincerely he is asking for that. All situations will be favorable. Someone will take the responsibility. Someone will just release him from certain duties unexpectedly. There are many stories that he was in the military duty, and he was the whole night, but he is in the name of Rama, 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 Rama. What is the name of the saint? And that is our Ramakrishna order. So, and he is repeating all this, and then he was under the British regiment for soldier, but he was feigning like that as if he is something, he is out of brain, a psychotic problem. So he is not capable of doing the duty of the fighting. So they put some ice on his head to see if it is genuine or it is fake. Madness, genuine madness or fake. And ultimately he sustained all these things, endured all these things, and he was released from this duty. So situation happens, mind gets set up in that way to act, so God's grace can help us. But one cannot succeed unless one renounces lust and greed. Only by renunciation is ignorance destroyed. See, only by renunciation means detaching. Because when I am attached, my mind is going into the world. But you can see, bring Vedanta there, that you are serving in your wife, God, then it is all service. That's a totally different aspect. If you are advanced like that, you can see through all my duties, I am serving God. Like that is the Ramakrishna mission's idea. All the sadhus are doing day and night so much of work. It is what? It is serving God. So you may say, they are also engaged in so much involved activities. But that involved activities is not for their own, but for the service to God. So if that is done, then it is no obstacle because you are working for God and God and God and God. So here, one cannot succeed unless that detachment comes. It's I, me, mine. All bondage comes in ignorance. And ignorance is what? Shankaracharya says, ahamidam, mamaidam, it is me, it is mine. And this type of attitude, from time immemorial, this attachment is going on. A devotee will say, not me, O Lord, it is thou and thine. It is your. This house, I live, but it is yours. This bank account, it is yours. I am only custodian. This car is yours for doing your work. Only the mental attitude. So that is the renunciation, detachment. And that gives freedom. So Sri Ramakrishna says that but one cannot succeed unless one gives up, renounces this lust and gold. Only by renunciation, this ignorance, the cloud of ignorance, will be destroyed. The sun's rays falling on a lens burns many objects. But if a room is dark inside, you cannot get that result. You must come out of the room to use the lens. But some people live in the world, even after attaining jnana. Now is coming this aspirants like us. He talked about us. Very simple formula. Pray and give it to God. Pray and give it to God. Pray and give it to God. Huh? Now he is saying, but in the world there may be some other people. These people, what they do? They are realized souls, like Brahmananda, Shivananda. They live in the world. Apparently they work for the good of the world. Vivekananda, how much he worked, how much he moved into the length and breadth of the whole world, no? But they're doing so much work, but they have no ego. They know that it is the God is driving them to work, no? Instrument in the hand of the Lord. So they live, but some people live in the world after attaining this knowledge. They see both what is inside and what is outside the room. The light of God illumines the world. They see, yeah, that's the point. They see this world, that there is a light, the light of God, light of consciousness is illumining everything. That's why Upanishad says, Tasya bhasha sarvamidam vibhati. Everything shining, He shining, the Lord shining, everything shines. What we see, the sun's light and the moon's brilliance, the stars, everything in the world which shines forth, it is by God's presence, God's light. The light of God illumines the world. Therefore, that is they have a penetrating eye. They are called Jivan Muktas. That means they are mukta, liberated, while in the life, while moving like us. There are such people in the world. In our order we are fortunate, there are so many, but they hide themselves. We cannot say who is what, because your experience is your experience. But we can, from outside, we can feel little bit by his behavior, by his non-attached outlook, loving attachment, which unconditional love flows from them. Such are the things which can light up God as if shining more in them rather than. Therefore, with the light, they can discriminate with that light of God, they can discriminate between good and bad, permanent and impermanent. The ignorant who lead a worldly life without knowing God are like people living in a house with mud wall. With the help of the dim light, they can see the inside of the house, but nothing more. But those who live in the world, after having attained knowledge and realized God, are like people living in a glass house. Beautiful example. They see the inside of the room and also all that is outside. The light from the sun of knowledge enters strongly into the room. They perceive everything inside the room very clearly. They know what is good and what is bad, what is permanent and what is impermanent. And it's just think that there one room which is solid wall. Full blaze of the day, shining day is there, but that light is not entering into the room. God is everywhere, but light is not shining in my heart. I close eyes, I don't see anything here. You can see a little lamp, he says. Ramakrishna gave the example. With that lamp, we try to see, but it is so imperceptible. And when I open eyes, the wall blocks my vision. What is outside, I don't see. Now you see, by spiritual practice, prayer, meditation, our personality becomes purer and purer and purer. It becomes like transparent, more transparent, more transparent. And suppose it's a clear glass like this, if we see, Then now we can see. Here is the wall, I cannot see what is outside, but through the window I can see the glass and I can see the light outside. So that's shining light everywhere. God's light shining everywhere. Satchidananda, the ocean of bliss and joy is everywhere. That is blocked for ignorant people like us. And by spiritual practice and prayer, when one does that, and God makes the way easy, then gradually this transformation happens and the vision opens up. That's what is spiritual life? Spiritual life is opening up our vision. Our understanding is clear and clear and clear. So it is those who live in the world having attained knowledge and realized God are like people living in a glass house. They see inside the room as also the outside. That means Antar Hari, there is a prayer. Antar Hari jadi Antar Bahir jadi Hari tapasa tato kim. If you see God with closing eyes inside, then what is the need of your austerity? Fasting, practice, japa is no more necessary. You see the light. And if you see outside, looking everywhere, there is that Hari, the Lord, then what is the need of your sadhana? So that means see God inside, see God outside. That is the goal of life, and it comes by simple formula, renunciation. How renunciation comes? By prayer, detachment comes, and thinking that it is Lord's, 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 not me, thou, 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 thou. So God alone is the doer. And we are all His instruments. We all think day and night we are deluded. I did. This is my plan. Yeah, we will have to say that. Outside world, no, you cannot say you are interacting with a person outside who does not understand any other language. You will have to say, yes, I want it. This is the plan. You have to do this, no? But internally, devotee will know, no, Lord, it is you. It is your idea, your thought. Let it percolate through my personality. Let thy will be manifesting through my actions, my thoughts, my doings. So, God is only the doer. That's why D is given capital. And we are all His instruments. God wants to do His work of this play, of this world. Made many instruments. And that's why the song, that song, I am the instrument, you are the driver. I am the chariot, you are the charioteer. I am the house, you are the master of the house. So it isn't just, Upanishad also gives the idea that this is like a chariot, this body is like a chariot, and it is driven by God. So that chariot is driven by the charioteer. Chariot has no... A chariot is... Good chariot is what? Good chariot will be... the chariot moves according to the will of the driver, no? Suppose your good car is what? Good car obeys your order. Bad car, when it becomes old and does not, you try to turn on the right, it does not work, no? Some electric connection is missing, so blinking is not going on. So this is not listening to the instruction of the boss. That's why what happens? Boss gradually becomes fed up and discards that. But boss keeps that car, which car? Which is very perfect, no? With gas, pressure is perfect, this blinking is correct, all the machinery is working in perfect order, air conditioning is working, this, that, and that is it's a good instrument. Good instrument obeys the boss in toto. Normally drivers are much better than we. God is the driver, we don't listen to God. But for our driving, our car actually does perfectly. If you want to turn, as much as you turn, it will turn. So, good instrument So this, to think, if we think that it is his instrument, it is, let him drive. Therefore the responsibility, look at that. No one blames the car after the accident. And no one takes a hammer to destroy the car because the car has hit. But who is caught? Who is the driver? So driver is caught. So if any problem comes, God will take responsibility. So it is not my responsibility anymore.
But if the car broke apart and then the fault from the driver of the car?
Yeah, but that is the bad car. That because why it fell down? Because it did not listen, not tuned with the direction of the driver. Of course, bad drivers are there. Here we are talking about God is the driver. So God is never bad driver. So not drunk driver. So that question does not come over here. But the instrument, that is the sense of instrument in the hand of God is a big idea. It's a really, really great progress one can do. That I am only doing as you want me to do. Every work, every one moment I am doing something, spiritual people do it every second, thinking that it is thy will, thy will, thy will, not me, not my will, my will. But for us, we may forget half an hour, 1 hour, we can remember, oh Lord, it is your work. You guide me. It is your work. I am the instrument only. Use my brain, use my hand, use my all abilities you have given this instrument to work for your purpose. So that is therefore it is impossible even for a jnani to be egotistic. That's why when they are jnanis or bhaktas, their ego is gone. Because they work on the God's ego. And God's wish the Ramakrishna. He has no ego at all. Whatever he does by God's will. Swami Vivekananda came in this country and did such miraculous work. And Sri Ramakrishna, he said that Sri Ramakrishna has put into me that Mother Kali. Before his passing away, he touched him and transferred the energy. And Sri Ramakrishna said, I have given away all my sadhana, what have I done? Everything. And by that power you will do great good to the world. You will do great good to the world. It's for the good of the world. And Swamiji recognized that and said, that is the driving force. And not giving me rest for a day. I have not slept well. It's like it's pushing me one corner to the other corner of the world. That is the power, mother power or divine power, what Ramakrishna has put. So they become the instrument. That's why they are an instrument. We hear so many things. Swamiji is exhausted with speaking. What tomorrow I shall speak any more new thing, no? What shall I say? The same audience. And then, night time, someone is dictating what to say. Ramakrishna came in the experience and he is directly telling what to say, entire talk, entire lecture. And the host requested, Swamiji, we are talking whole night. No? That is the talking. Who is talking? He is getting all the instruction from God. So they are the people, they can do. That's why their work remains so powerful and for the good of the world. Because they are tuned to God. As much one is close to God, they become more powerful. Powerful not by their own ego, but powered by the will of God. As much God wants to do. When Ramakrishna is just before giving up the body, he is saying, Naren is saying, I cannot eat through, so make something so that I can eat. No? Mother does not want that body to continue. That's why mother said, what? Are you not eating to so many mouths in the world? Why are you to eat through this mouth only? See? That means detachment. Mother's instrument. Mother wants this body has done its purpose. Come out. So they are very welcoming to that condition. But for us it is difficult. Am I to die? I cannot. I cling on to my health, my so many things and objects of the world. So this is they have no ego. Therefore, it is impossible even for a Jnani to be egotistic. The writer of a hymn to Shiva felt proud of his achievement, but his pride was dashed to pieces when Shiva's bull bared his teeth. He saw that each tooth was a word of the hymn. Do you understand the meaning of this? These words had existed from the beginningless past. The writer had only discovered them. So that means God has created everything. When mind, see all the great writers and poets, they get intuitive knowledge. Some subject passes in their mind. So it was in the cosmic thought level. So sometimes it catches the thought of one of such people, and their writing become immortal writing. It is not good to be a guru by profession. Profession means in India there are called guru, family gurus. They are by profession. They are Brahmins. So their father was a guru. His son, when father passes away, the son will be guru. His son will be guru. And they will be able to give mantras and others. Now Ramakrishna order has come, monks give these mantras and renouncing. But they are householder people, they have their family and friend, and they may not be very highly spiritual, but that tradition maintained is family guru. So it is not good to be a guru by profession. He's talking to them, that Brahmin people. Just to be guru is not good. One cannot be a teacher without a command from God. He who says he is a guru is a man of mean intelligence. That is, Ramakrishna never said guru. He used to say, I cannot tolerate the three words. Guru, what?
Father.
Guru, Guru Baba এবং Baba Guru and আরেকটা কি? Father, someone tells me father, I cannot tolerate. I am not father. I am the child of God. No, God is father. Guru, you are my redeeming teacher. I cannot tolerate that word. God is the redeeming teacher. But it is egoless, the sign of total egoness. Have not you seen a balance? The lighter side goes higher. He who is spiritually higher than others does not consider himself a guru. Everyone wants to be a teacher, but a disciple is hard to find. So we can end here. He says that guru, that's true. Everyone wants to be a teacher, but who wants to learn? Guru hona, guru mile lakh. Teachers are found in thousands and thousands, but true student is very rare. No one wants to be a student. Wants to be quick fix to get a teacher. That's why on the teacher being blind, they guide the student to blindness. That is the Upanishad says. Okay, I will end it here. Om Sthapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharma sarupine avatara varisthaya Ramakrishnaya te namaha. We have some questions. We will go for that. Sri Krishna is in Bhagavad Gita prescribes Nishkama Karma. I am in higher studies and I often see that due to intensely competitive nature of the field, mind becomes actually result-oriented, just in order to be ahead of the competitors in this rat race. How can I perform Nishkama Karma? Yes, that does not contradict. The question is that how to do selfless work. That is the question. But he says, I am in a higher studies and I often see that due to the intensely competitive nature of the field, my mind becomes actually result-oriented. Yes, we are making a mistake. Result-oriented should be, all of us should be result-oriented. I want this result. That destination, that goal is to be fixed. And our every method should be there to reach that goal with full strength, full energy. But only after my effort, whether the result has come or not, I should be detached to that. I will work hard. Gita suggested that 5 factors are necessary for a successful accomplishment. Ego, you have to have ego. Aham. Karta, I am the doer. That sense should be there. Then karanancha. Karana means sense organs. Your hand, brain, mind should be very sharp to accomplish that result. Apply all these forces of this. Karanancha pritak vidam. Vividhastu pritak chesta. You try this way, you failed. Try in another way. You are not an idle person. You failed. Don't worry, go another way. And lastly, don't miss the ground that is surrender to God. Whatever happens by God's will, I do accept it. Then success or failure does not matter. You have exhausted your all efforts and you did it for God. So this is called niskama karma. Niskama karma does not mean that I shall be sitting idly and I tried, I will not compete with others. Why not? I will compete, I will do the best. But that best goal should be there. At the same time, effort should be there. If one effort fails, we will have to do many efforts. But after all these, we have to understand there is a cosmic will. There's a cosmic plan. It has to happen like this. All the scientific experiments, all are successful. Do they give up for that reason? No. But when we get attached to this result, we suffer. We can avoid that suffering. This is the only point. Niskama karma means selfless work, means we can do everything, do our best we can do, but when you see it is, oh Lord, it is yours, now success or failure is yours. And I can withdraw. I can sleep well. My tension will be gone. I have freshness. That's why in our order we find great Swamis who have done tremendous achievements in life. One example is close to us is Sarvadevananda Swami. How much work he has done. But you know what? Success, most of the cases success, and he has also failures. But it matters little. He did his best. God didn't want it. That's all. And then you are free from all entanglement. That's the freedom.
Anirban reminded that it is Guru, Father and Master. 3 words that Thakur could not talk about.
Achha, good suggestion. Guru, Master and Father. Achha. Another question, if God is the driver of everyone, what about persons with mindsets as thieves, robbers, selfish and people committing various sins? Does God drive them? Yes, God drives them, everyone. But his driver's instruction is not followed by the car. The engine does not follow the instruction. So that means the mind is not pure. Mind has its own ego. Ego is there. 5 layers, there comes Vedanta. God is Satchidananda. It's all light and blessings. It is covered by one layer, it's called the ego layer. We have our ego. My ego is different than your ego. When we fight with each other, not for God, but my ego versus your ego. I understand, you say I. Tell whose I will be good. So it is a fight between the I and the I. Not this E-Y-E, but I, capital I. And there is my understanding, buddhi, your understanding. My understanding and your understanding. When that does not match, that is fight. But when this mind is pure, there is God. There is no conflict. Because God in you, God in me. It's transparent there. My emotions are different, your emotions are different. My energy level in the body and my mind is different, yours is different. My physical shape and size and the weight are all different. I am different from you. So we are different in this level. When these differences will go away by knowledge, we will see only the divine in everyone. So there will be no conflict. Thief is God. That's why Swami Vivekananda said, God as thief, God as robbers. God is everywhere. God is in the beautiful rose, and God is also in the what you call the eating, what is that, tree, leaves. Some plant is there, no? You touch them and it starts itching. So there are all types of things. This variation will be there. But behind force is Satchidananda everywhere. But when it's covered with a thief covering, that's why he is a thief. If the thief covering is taken away, he will be God. There is a mindset. So everyone, we are all pure by our nature, but a selfishness, robbery, thief, committing some various sinful activity, it is not. The dead body does not do anything. Mind it. A person does all these things. A person does meditation. A person can steal. A person can go and kill. Propelling force is consciousness behind, that is the same. The electricity is the same in everywhere, in the light, in the heater, in the cooler. But that light, that electricity can be dangerous. It can ignite fire. But ignite fire is also necessary when cooking. But igniting fire in another place is wrong. So the supportive energy is the electricity. But its manifestation may be different. So therefore we differ. We cannot ignore the presence of God, but the manifestation is different because mind, it is all the cloud in the mind, in the emotion, in the ego and in other areas. Okay. Okay, thank you all for your questions. Tomorrow will be Gita class by Swami Satyamayananda at 7:30. Thank you.